There's blue skies and sun shining here in Birmingham for a South American matchup in the third place playoff of the men's blind football competition here at the IBSA World Games 2023. Colombia taking on Brazil. My name's Rob Scanlon. Dixie Dean is alongside me, former England goalkeeper and qualified referee in blind football. We're at the University of Birmingham. We're sat enjoying the picture in front of us, which is the Colombians and the Brazilians waiting behind the volunteers and the officials with their flags. And here they come. So a warm ovation from the supporters in the stand. A lot of interested passers-by around the perimeter fencing here at the sports campus. Lots of international students still here during the summer months. Had lots of intrigue, lots of interest in these games, and it's coming to a head now with this third, fourth place playoff before the final. Argentina against China, which takes place at 6:30 local time, just over 2 hours time here in Birmingham, being streamed around the world. It's been a pleasure bringing you the games. We've seen a fantastic competition. It's coming to a head now. It's time for the national anthems of Brazil and Colombia before we get underway with this playoff match.
Please remain standing if you are able for the national anthem of Brazil.
Of Colombia and Brazil. Before we take a check on the teams, let's look at the path to the final, given it is the final day of competition here at Birmingham. Colombia were drawn in Group C. They progressed from that. Brazil progressed from Group D. They both won their quarter-finals. Colombia beating Iran by 2-1. Before losing the semi-finals, Colombia losing to Argentina, and Brazil losing on penalties to China. The Colombian team is on your screen now. Number 1 is Johan Ardila. Number 3, Alex Martinez. Number 7, their captain, Jean Hernandez. Number 9, John Gonzalez. Number 10, Juan David Perez. On the subs bench, they have sub-goalkeeper number 11, Freddy Gomez. Number 2 is Freddy Lopez. Number 5, Julian Jaramillo. Number 6, Jesus Lopez. And number 8, Nicolas Coca. They're coached by Fernando Carrillo. And their guide is Jonathan Ramirez. As for Brazil, they line up like this. Number 12, their goalkeeper Mateus Costa. Number 5, Casio Lopez. Number 8 is Nonato. Number 11, Jardial Suarez. Number 9, Thiago Silva. On the subs bench, they have their captain and goalkeeper Luan Lasedi. Number 2 is Jonathan Silva. Number 4 is Maicon Santos. Number 7 is Jefferson. Number 3, Samir Santana. They're coached by Fabio Vasconcelos. Their guide is Edson Lacerda. So as I mentioned, both these sides progressed out of the group stages, reaching the quarter-finals. As Colombia progressed past Iran, you can see the route to the final on your screen now. Colombia beating Iran, but losing out to Argentina. Whereas Brazil progressed past France in the quarter-final stage, but were beaten 2-0 agonisingly on penalties by China to set up that final later on between Argentina and China, and this fourth place playoff between Colombia and Brazil. Dixie Dean, the former England goalkeeper, alongside me, Rob Scanlon. The forecast for rain has been incorrect so far. We've seen 2 matches. Italy against France. Italy took the lead in that one, but France won to finish 7th. And then the latest kickoff. And there was some real emotion at the end of this one. Iran against Japan. You'd think finishing 5th, well, is there much in that? But actually, it could well book Japan a place in the Paralympics. And their celebrations, there was tears, there was joy. And you could see with Iran, who gathered in a huddle and sat down on one of the unused pitches, they were absolutely crestfallen because they knew that that potentially was their last chance to go to a Paralympic Games for some of them, because, of course, you know, the cycle, every 4 years they might not get another opportunity. So there was big pressure on that game. Japan won it, Dixie, and the celebrations told you everything you need to know.
Yeah, they really enjoyed it, didn't they? They were sort of jumping up and down, and it was so nice to see. They put a samurai headgear on the goal scorer, and he was still wearing it when they went over to the changing rooms. A very elaborate piece of headwear. And yeah, it was a really, really good game, and probably the best free kick that we'd seen during the tournament, the way it was worked. And that decided the game on that free kick, and it was expertly done, and a really neat finish by the lad, and keeper didn't really move for it, if I remember rightly. So that was a really good game, but we've got Colombia and Brazil up in front of us now, and I must admit, every time Colombia play, I get excited because I just love the way they play. The 9 and 10 up front are fantastic. They're really jack-in-the-box characters and full of energy, full of life, full of inventiveness, if I can say the word, Rob. You help me out on that one. And, yeah, they're very lively indeed. So, you're looking forward to a good game here.
On-field officials Stuart Winton and Herminal Lebrano are happy with everything. They shake hands with the 2 coaching staffs. And we're about to get underway. Colombia, it will be who will get us started in this game. Kicking from right to left in their colourful kit with splashes of blue, red and yellow, the Colombian flag represented. And they've got predominantly white shorts, but again, those sort of paint splashes of yellow, blue and red, and then white socks. Brazil in their very traditional, very famous kit of yellow shirts with green numbers and names on the back and green trim on the sleeves, and blue shorts with blue socks. Sometimes they wear white socks, but blue socks today, so as not to provide a kit clash, I guess, as Brazil have the ball and they knock it down to the far right. Thiago Silva can't bring it under control, and it's through and out for a Colombian restart. Johan Ardila will take it to John Hernandez, the captain for Colombia. Down the left-hand side he goes. Pass, but it's misdirected. And forward come Brazil in the shape of Thiago Silva. Moves from the near side to the far side. Offers the ball back to Suarez. Jadiel Suarez switches it again to the far side. There's a little clipped cross by Thiago Silva across the face of goal. It'll be well kept in by Nonato. Nonato can't maintain possession though, but Suarez steps in inside the middle third, close to the near side. Colombia now through Gonzalez, the number 9. Lovely bit of dribbling there, then spears the ball to the far side of the pitch, where it bounces off the board and goes out for a Brazilian restart. Long throw downfield is miscontrolled, and it's back with Colombia and their keeper Ardila. Timeout called momentarily because Colombia need John Gonzalez to tie up his laces, and we're good to go again. Throw is looking for David Perez, Juan David Perez. And, again, it's miscontrolled. And back with Brazil. 0-0. No early chances for either side yet. In fact, the pattern seems to be long throw, miscontrol. Long throw, miscontrol at the moment.
Yes, that's about it at the moment, isn't it? They're better than that, these players. We've seen much better from them. I'm sure they're settled down. It's a bit of nerves, I think. Yeah, but at the moment it's a bit stalemate.
John Gonzalez for Colombia, kicking from right to left in this first half, but at the moment retreating back towards his own goal. He's going to pass it back to his goalkeeper, is he? No, it's taken off him in a dangerous place by Nonato, who shoots just wide.
Yeah, I think the goalkeeper promptly has a word with him as well. What are you doing? Just give it to me.
Ardila, the goalkeeper, gives it to Hernandez, the skipper for Colombia. Diagonal pass looking for Gonzalez. Beaten to it by his fellow number 9, and now the ball's up for grabs. And Gonzalez passes it across goal, where Juan David Perez was waiting. Ponytailed number 10 cuts in from the far touchline. And it's a restart to Brazil after the ball squirms away from him. Long throw out again. Jadiel Suarez tries to twist away on halfway from his marker, Hernandez. Square ball to the near sideboard. Clatters into it and is taken up by Thiago Silva. Inside the centre circle. Away from 1. A second. Nutmegs a third. Around a fourth. Oh, and then the ball hit his heel.
Yeah, the referee's brought it back. It was a foul earlier in the move. Good refereeing.
Stuart Winton with the decision there.
Yeah, and so Brazil will have a free kick virtually on the halfway line, very central. It's the first foul gone up on the board.
Central position, but still inside the centre circle, albeit in Colombia's half, so Brazil won't be able to do what Japan did earlier, which is engineer a brilliant set-piece routine, far more advanced free kick in terms of position, and then they had 2 players occupying the wall split, and Kawamura, the Japan captain, found the bottom corner. Brilliant bit of play. Couple of shrill blasts of the whistle. But we're ready to go. Jadiel Suarez immediately passes to the left. But it's hooked away by Colombia, downfield. But sent straight back to Nonato. Nonato is
taking a tumble
clipped
there
as he went to shoot, and it was, I reckon, a fraction outside the penalty area.
Yeah.
But not by much.
Yeah, you're right, Rob. It was outside. Very rash challenge by the Colombian there, and yeah, it's 2 foot outside. So look at it again.
Replay there. Nonato wasn't far away. That it was a sliding challenge coming in from Alex Martinez.
They could certainly bring the ball forward a little bit and have just cause to bringing it forward a little bit, because it wasn't there.
This is a similar position to the Japan one, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. Perhaps a little bit wider, but not much.
Well, are they preparing something similar here? Because there's two
Brazilians.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if the Brazilians have watched it and had a little thought, and we can do it, but have the Colombians watched it as well and know what they're going to do? But we'll see. Good opportunity for Brazil, this. As I say, we have been a little bit disappointed in the performances of Brazil at these championships, because up until now they've certainly been the well, probably the best team in the world for 20 to 25 years, to be honest.
Casio Lopez and Nonato were the two players stood 3 meters away from the ball, back to goal, in front of the wall. So they'll be sort of trying to block any press and forming some sort of distraction here. Jadiel Suarez and Thiago Silva are the 2 players over it. Thiago Silva shoots, deflected, and it's parried around the post. Again, it worked. It worked because it stopped the wall from pushing forward and preventing the shot being taken. It got a deflection, and it was a good save in the end by Ardila, but it very nearly worked again.
It was very, very similar, and all but from the deflection, we might have had the same end result, but in the end, the keeper's made a really good save off the deflection, because he couldn't have had much time to see that.
Suarez with the effort, and he's on the ball on the far side. Jadiel Suarez. Loses it to Colombia, who can break now down the right-hand side. On halfway, that's nice play from John Hernandez. Switches it to the near side, and John Gonzalez, who treads on the ball, and it allows Brazil to steal in and win a free kick on halfway.
Another foul by Colombia. Fouls are starting to rack up a little bit.
That's number 3, isn't it?
Yeah, you only allowed 4, then the 5th one's an 8-metre penalty.
Well, we've not played 4 minutes yet. Oh, we have. Just over 4 minutes.
Yeah. And the Brazilian coach is imparting some information to his team. Used to be the Brazilian goalkeeper back in my time.
Jadiel Suarez. The stubbed pass down the right-hand side, but it's picked off by Colombia. You can switch the play to Juan David Perez. He then diagonally sends the ball to the near sideboard, and John Gonzalez gets to the byline, tries to cut back. He's under pressure from Thiago Silva. The 2 number 9s hacking at the ball as Gonzalez just about fumbles his way through, and then the ball's overrun and out for a restart to Brazil, who move it quickly downfield. Colombia now get bodies back as the ball is scooped into the penalty area and all the way through to Ardila.
Yeah, I just think it's starting to settle a little bit now.
Jadiel Suarez now bearing down on the penalty area. It was an important little touch there, but Suarez shoots and scores. It looked like his path to goal was blocked. There was a deflection, but then the ball rolled kindly into his path, and he let fly right-footed. And Jadiel Soares gets Brazil up and running in this third place playoff, placing the ball low to the right of Joan Ardila. It's Soares with the goal. Brazil 1, Colombia 0.
Yeah, I thought Colombia had it away and they lost it, and he was so close into the keeper, he smashed it into the corner. The keeper's got no chance at all. But it looked like Colombia got away with it, but it's come off the Colombian's heel, straight back into his path, and he's taken one touch and smacked it into the back of the net. So,
well, John Hernandez initially made the tackle, and then the ball rolled unkindly, really, off his heel, back to Jadiel Soares, and he was there to, as Dixie says, hit the ball firmly home.
Well, then we'll see what Colombia is made of. Then will they come back? Because, as I say, the 9 and the 10 usually work really well together. We haven't seen much of it yet, but
Nonato trying to make it 2-0. Down the left wing for Brazil. Quickly from the restart, retrieving possession, Brazil. And here's Nonato again. He's back to goal on the edge of the defensive third for Colombia. Runs across the face of goal. And he's blocked off. Forward come Colombia. Now they can break through John Gonzalez. He overruns it. Back with Brazil. Gonzalez's shades have come off, so it's hold up in play here, with Brazil leading by a goal to nil, courtesy of their number 11, Jadiel Soares.
yeah, it's an uncontested drop ball. Brazil were in charge of the ball when the referee blew the whistle, so they'll just get a drop at their feet.
9 minutes, 10 seconds left in this first half. Thiago Silva with this free kick. It's in the right back position for Brazil, and lead by a goal to nil. So they're inside their own half, in the middle third of the pitch. Drop to Thiago Silva. Shapes away from Alex Martinez. Then plays a diagonal ball into the penalty area that rolls out for a restart to Colombia. Ardila bowls the ball out to the near sideboard. There's Gonzalez. Switches the play. Juan David Perez spins away from one. Tries a shot. Is challenged at the vital second. The ball breaks loose into the centre circle. It's spinning. And it's still not being claimed yet. And it has now. Looks like Brazil are going to win possession, but then they give it straight back to John Hernandez. Hernandez, the captain for Colombia, scoops the ball down the right wing. Juan David Perez does well, controls it, comes inside, again tries to shoot on the stretch, doesn't get any power, the shot's blocked. Brazil will run this one clear through Nonato. He's clipped by Juan David Perez. Gets back to his feet, Nonato. Runs after his own through ball. But there's Colombia in John Hernandez. Shirt untucked. He fires a diagonal ball that's asking a lot of Juan David Perez. What an intervention that is. The ball hit the sideboard, was going out, and he threw himself at the ball to keep it in, hook his foot around it. And that deserved a goal.
Yeah, it's tremendous, isn't it? Because it was definitely going to go out, and he
slid
in and wrapped his foot round it and dragged it back up the pitch to keep Colombia in possession of the ball. Done really well. There's been a foul given against Brazil. Can't see what's happening.
Brazil make a change.
Yeah.
It's Thiago Silva who's making way.
Oh, he's playing for Chelsea tonight, isn't he?
Maicon Santos coming on. It says Maicon Jr. on the back of his shirt. So we've been told Maicon Santos is the name I refer to him as. Colombia with this free kick, close to the near sideboard. They're a good 15 metres from goal, I'd say. With the angle. Free kick comes to nothing. Brazil try and counter-attack. It's being contested in the middle third. Brazil have a bit of space now through Nonato. Weaves away from one challenge. He's tripped up by Alex Martinez. And that's another free kick. Is that a fourth foul?
Yeah, that's the fourth one. Yeah, he was right. The referee was right. It was a trip. The Colombian bench don't agree. That's a surprise. But, yeah, so they're on the 4-4. Any more now, it'll be 8-metre penalties. So we're having... Oh, they're just indicating from the table that's the fourth foul. So, yeah, they're going to have to be careful now. You go 2-0 then, and there probably won't be any way back for them. Obviously, the fouls are wiped at half-time, so they start with a clean sheet for the second half.
Suarez, the goal scorer for Brazil. Slaloming run. It's a corner to Brazil, but they don't like it. Juan David Perez loudly protesting. It was a judge that he got the last touch as he went across to tackle Suarez. And,
the bench didn't like it either.
Things not going Colombia's way. Trailing by a goal to nil. They've committed 4 fouls and there's still 7 minutes left of this first half. The corner is blocked on the edge of the penalty area. Maicon Santos, a tall, rangy number 4 for Brazil. Now has some defending to do after losing possession to Juan David Perez. Perez is still fighting for possession against the far side board. Ball's cleared by Brazil downfield by Cassio Lopez. All the way through to goalkeeper Ardila. Heaves a long throw forward, but straight to Brazil. And Colombia have committed players forward here. And Brazil with the shot on target, courtesy of Maicon Santos, straight at the goalkeeper. It's a good early impression from the sub. Inside the centre circle, Colombia work it to the near sideboard, but there's no one there in a blue, yellow and red shirt. So it's back with Brazil, who lead by a goal to nil. Nonato, edge of the area, low shot, good save. That was squirming in that. It was just creeping into the far post.
Yeah, the keeper's got down well again. It's definitely Brazil on the front foot at the moment, pushing Colombia back all the time. It's just the odd break from Colombia that we get, but nothing sustained at all.
Jadiel Suarez for Brazil. Just approaching halfway. Knocks it to this near sideboard. Colombia latch onto it. Alex Martinez tries a marauding run forward. He's got 4 shirts to beat. Martinez, he's got through. Shot saved. The shot lacked a little bit of conviction. He was slightly off balance there, Alex Martinez. And Brazil keep it to 1-0.
Yeah, that's the first time we've seen Colombia down in a reasonable position. And if they keep on doing that, they'll get some joy. But they need to do more of it, I'm afraid. That's the first time we've seen it this half. So, but a good opportunity for Colombia.
4 minutes 30 left on the clock. Brazil lead Colombia by a goal to nil in this 3rd, 4th place playoff at the IBSA World Games. Men's blind football competition. Final to come later. Argentina against China. Oh dear. Now, here we go.
That's here we go. Be an 8-metre penalty. He scissor kicked him on the floor. One leg either side.
John Gonzalez with the foul.
Yeah. Silly boy. No need to do it from there, really. Wasn't in that much trouble. Ball's out wide. And sudden rush of blood to the head. And gives Brazil the opportunity to score a second one from the 8-metre spot.
Well, it's going to be Casio Lopez to take. Brazil are making a change. Nonato is going off, the number 8. He's replaced by Thiago Silva, who returns, having started the game. So, the responsibility is on the shoulders of Casio Lopez to make it 2-0 to Brazil. He's got blue trainers. And his right foot looks to be the preferred option for him. He taps the ball a couple of times with the sole of his trainer. He awaits the assistance of guide Edson Lacerda. All discipline from Colombia. Referee Stuart Winton wants silence. Goalkeeper's ready. Casio Lopez is ready. Lopez continues to intermittently tap the sole of his foot on the top of the ball. 8-metre penalty. Casio Lopez for Brazil. Can he make it 2-0? Oh. He can, emphatically.
Yeah. That was no problem at all, was it? That was rifled in. Absolutely rifled into the goalkeeper's left.
Brazil 2, Colombia 0. An 8-metre penalty from Casio Lopez. Johan Ardila, I'm not sure he saw it. It was that quick.
Oh, look at that. And it's stuck behind the net on the stanchion. Well, Colombia got some work to do now, and they've still got 4 minutes of this after contend with whether they're on 8-metre penalties for every foul they commit. But, that was a well-struck penalty by the Brazilian there. And, yes, they've got a mountain to climb now.
So goals from Jariel Suarez and now Casio Lopez with an 8-metre penalty. Left the scoreline, Colombia 0, Brazil 2. There's still 4 minutes left in the first half. And if they commit another foul, Colombia, they're going to have the same problem in this half. Juan David Perez tries to get them motoring down the right-hand side. But they lose the ball to Thiago Silva. Facing his own goal, tries to whip a clearance away. Juan David Perez gets it though and then shoots wide from the edge of the box, left-footed. Again, he was just falling away as he took that shot. But he's a lively player, Juan David Perez. And they can't afford to give him too many more opportunities like that, can Brazil? Oh, but there's a trip. Oh, I tell you what, John Gonzalez nearly conceded another one. The trip there, I think Brazil fancied that.
Yeah, I think the Brazilian was looking for that one, I think. Sort of leapt up in the air a little bit. But the effort by Colombia there was a good effort. And as Rob rightly said, he was falling away a little bit and just slightly off balance and screwed it wide. But he's a lively character, that Perez. Really lively. He'll have a go from anywhere.
Corner to Brazil. Thiago Silva's there, as is number 7, Jefferson. Jefferson takes on the responsibility. Moves down the far sideboard. Now goes back towards the byline. A little pullback. Straight to Juan David Perez, who was waiting 7 metres from his own goal. He could be clear here, Juan David Perez. Great challenge comes in from Thiago Silva, who marauds forward down the left. He's in, and he scores. It's 3-0 Brazil. Thiago Silva, the number 9, with another crisp finish, this time high into the net. Johan Ardila has been beaten 3 times in this first half. There's still 3 minutes left on the stopwatch. Brazil look like they're heading third.
Yeah, so this is great because he picks it up in his own half, goes across the halfway line, beats one player, comes inside, beats another one, gets to the edge of the box, and he's just drilled it into the top right-hand corner. It's giving the keeper no chance at all. No chance. Colombia are going to make 2 substitutions, but I think the game's gone. I really do. Brazil are starting to look like the Brazil we we've known for the last 25 years. They've been disappointing up to this stage, but they look really lively and really up for this game. And yeah, if it goes on like this, it could be a cricket score.
Number 2, Freddie Lopez coming on for Colombia in place of Alex Martinez. And Juan David Perez makes way for Julian Jaramillo. Oh dear. Colombia in all sorts of trouble here, and partly of their own doing, with the 8-metre penalty conceded due to accumulated fouls. But that was just quality from Thiago Silva, and Brazil cruising at 3-0 at the moment. The bronze medal is very much theirs. Restart to Colombia, kicking from right to left, remember, in this first half. But
they've still got 3 minutes to navigate as well, Rob. You know, on these penalties as well. So they're going to have to be really careful.
Castillo Lopez, who scored the penalty. A lovely side-footed pass that picks out Maicon Santos. Santos manages to shield the ball over to the far side and give it to Thiago Silva, one of the 3 goal scorers for Brazil. Colombia break things up in the middle third, and then there's a foul, I think, from Maicon Santos, trying to get the ball back, and slightly cumbersome.
Yeah, he's dragged him down there, and that's the other side of the Brazilian game.
3-0 though.
They can dish it out when they need to, and
well, they're a big side, aren't they? I mean, they're tall, athletic players. Hard to handle. It's a surprise to see them. I mean, still a fine achievement if they finish third, but
yeah.
And they only lost on penalties, of course, in the semi-final. But they struggled for goals in this competition, beating Iran and Morocco by a goal to 0, failing to score against Mexico in a goalless draw, only beating France by a goal to 0 in the quarterfinals. So the first time they've really flexed their muscles, really.
Yeah, exactly, Rob. We've been saying all the way through how disappointing they are. They've been scraping through, and but no flair or excitement about the side at all. But they're certainly turning it on now, and. Yeah, it's a pleasure to watch them when they're on song like this.
Here's Jefferson. Moves the ball from the near side to the far side. Brazil sniffing a fourth here through Thiago Silva. Shoots a deflection, takes the sting out of the shot. Ardila can claim.
Yeah, it's a good job Colombian got across that. Is that going to be number 4?
It's on halfway now with Colombia. But the ball squirms loose and it spins into the centre circle. And they can pick it up, can Colombia, through John Gonzalez. Forced wide on the left. Uses his left hand to balance himself on the near board. Rolls it back to Freddie Lopez. Switches the play with a diagonal pass. Brazil clear their lines, though. Run it forward through Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva. Can Brazil add a fourth in the closing stages of the first half? Just scuffs at that shot right by the penalty, right by the goalkeeper's box, I should say. He was in the penalty area, and then he just stretched for that one and skewed his shot wide.
Yeah, just run away from him a little bit there. I expect the keeper was starting to fear the worst. Well, that's a good tackle, but it's just coming back to Brazil all the time.
Yeah, relentless. Maicon Santos has the ball inside the centre circle, manages to offload it to Jefferson. In the right back position now for Brazil. He rides one challenge, swerves away from another marker. Here comes Jefferson down the right wing, forced to go back and across. It hits the sideboard, and the loose ball is Thiago Silva's. First touch is heavy, but he still gets onto it and then runs out of pitch.
Right, 17 seconds to go. So it's probably not going to get any worse for the Colombians in this half.
And the foul count will reset, so there's a bit of a relief for Colombia as they try and force a late opening but can't do so, and it's thrown out by Mateus Costa, the Brazilian goalkeeper, who's had very little to do in that first half because Brazil have been utterly dominant. They lead by 3 goals to 0. Goals from Jadiel Suarez, a penalty from Casio Lopez, and then Thiago Silva rounding up the scoring. Colombia have been slightly ill-disciplined and look a bit shaken. Can they respond in the second half? Dixie Dean and myself, Rob Scanlon, will join you for that in a few minutes' time. Before we have a refresher of the rules during the interval, the players will have a break with the scoreline here. Half-time, Colombia 0, Brazil 3.
It's fast, technical and tense. This is your guide to five-a-side football. There are 5 players per team, 4 outfield players and a goalkeeper. The aim of the sport is to score a goal by kicking the ball into your opponent's goal, and at the end of the game, whoever scored the most wins. Players must wear eye shades to ensure that all players have the same level of vision. That is apart from the goalkeepers, who aren't required to wear eye shades and can be fully sighted. Their job is to keep the ball from going in the goal behind them. But how do the players on the field know where the ball, or indeed the goal, is? Well, the ball in blind football is specially designed to make sound whenever it moves. Also, each team has a guide behind the opposition goal to help direct them. Each player is required to shout "Voy" when going for the ball. This ensures every player has the cues they need to help build a picture of what's going on and what to do next in defence or attack. To help this, total silence is required from the crowd until a goal goes in. Voy is Spanish for go, and it was the Spanish who were credited with originally developing blind football in the 1920s. As well as the Paralympics, teams from all corners of the world can compete at World, European, Asian, African and America's Championships, as well as a World Grand Prix.
Blind football can be played by both men and women, with the historic first Women's World Championships coming up in 2023.
So what are you waiting for? Give it a try.
IBSA, International Blind Sports Federation, presents, with the support of the International Paralympic Committee, IBSA Anti-Doping App, the first application of its kind in the Paralympic movement, specifically designed for blind and visually impaired people. Athletes, coaches, medical staff, managers, and the public in general now have a powerful tool to stay focused on the principles of clean sport. Scrolling down the main menu, you can find all the important themes you need to know to play fair and be alert to testing procedures and necessary adaptations for athletes with visual impairments. IBSA gives top priority to anti-doping control, being the only international federation with 3 sports in the Paralympic family: goalball, football, and judo. IBSA Anti-Doping App has external links, namely to WADA, where our sport agents can always find the most updated information, especially the list of prohibited substances and methods. Glory in sport can only be achieved by the athlete's awareness of their rights and responsibilities. You can find them on the IBSA Anti-Doping App. IBSA is continuously promoting anti-doping education to all its affiliate athletes and sport agents, not only about the consequences of the use of doping and the risk of using supplements. IBSA believes that education is the major tool to fight doping in sport. Informed athletes can make better decisions. Download the app now at the usual operating system stores.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have seen history being made today.
Such a great team at these championships.
IBSA. Beyond sight. Feel the sport.
Welcome back to Birmingham. It's the IBSA World Games 2023, the final day of the men's blind football competition. Half-time here in the third place playoff between Colombia and Brazil. And it's been a very one-sided first 15 minutes. Brazil leading by 3-0. Jadiel Suarez getting them underway. Casio Lopez converting an 8-metre penalty before Thiago Silva finished high into the net to make it 3-0 at the break. Brazil line up with Mateus Costa in goal. They've got Casio Lopez at the back. Number 7 is Jefferson. He's over the ball now, preparing to restart this game, along with Maicon Santos. And the other player outfield is Nonato. As for Colombia, no change in goal for them at half-time. We have seen teams do that in these playoff matches, but Johan Ardila wears number 1 for them. They've got Freddy Lopez wearing 2. John Gonzalez has 9. Juan David Perez has number 10, and John Hernandez is their captain, number 7. Brazil kicking from right to left in this second half, and they have possession inside the middle third of the pitch. Now into the centre circle moves Nonato. Just putting his foot on the ball. Weighing up his options. He moves down the left wing, held up by Juan David Perez, so decided to switch the play. Jefferson. Back across to Nonato, inside the defensive third of Colombia now. The Brazilian left wing. And the pass diagonally back to his right back position isn't the best. And Colombia nearly stole in there through John Gonzalez, but Brazil are able to work it back down the right-hand side. And Jefferson, chance of a shooting opportunity here. He's in the box now, and it's well saved by Ardila from point-blank range.
Yeah, it was a great run by Jefferson. He left 3 Colombians in his wake, all on the floor there, and keepers come out.
Nonato is blocked by a full-length block tackle from John Gonzalez, who basically lay down on the floor. And it's the first foul of the second half. Yeah. Colombia racked up 5 in the first and conceded an 8-metre penalty.
In just over a minute. That was a fine effort by Jefferson, wasn't it, just before then? He really went right at the heart of their defence and managed to escape the attentions of the 3 Colombians and forced a good save. Here it is again. There's 2 of them on the floor behind him, sort of trying to pull him down, but they were nowhere near him. That's really good. Keeper's made a great save as well, to be fair to him.
Danger not over yet for Colombia. It could be on the end of a really humbling scoreline here. It's already 3-0. And this free kick is going to be taken, well, less than a metre away from the 8-metre spot, just closer to the nearer sideboard than the far one. So it's effectively an 8-metre penalty, but with a wall.
Yeah, let's see if they did the same as what they did in the first half, didn't they? Because they put a player a metre in, the Brazil put a player a metre in front of the wall, and he broke, and that created a gap, and they tried to go through the gap, but I don't know. I think it's going to be the big number 5. He's going to put the size 9 through it myself here. I think he's just going to roll it to the side just a little bit, and he's going to absolutely smash it by the looks.
Jefferson with his foot on the ball. He's got Casio Lopez stood motionless. His feet either side of the ball. Is it going to be Casio Lopez who scored the 8-metre penalty for Brazil? Wait for the siren to move away. The ambulance heading off to the nearby hospital. Edson Lacerda with a guide for Brazil. Indicates to Casio Lopez where the goalkeeper's left-hand post is. Jefferson touches it to Casio Lopez, who loses his footing as he tries to shoot, and skews it well wide, but it got a touch off a Colombian player, and it's out for a corner.
Yeah, it's a corner. It's just hit the last person in the wall and to the right there, and spun out for a corner.
Brazil in their traditional colours of yellow shirts with green trim, green numbers and names on the back of their shirts. Blue shorts and blue socks. Colombia with their blue, yellow and red shirts. Predominantly blue. A smattering of yellow and red splashed across the top half of the shirts. And then they've got white shorts, white socks. Colombia offered very little as an attacking threat, and they've got some defending to do here with Casio Lopez striding forward. It's held up. He tries to retrieve possession in the middle third, doesn't get it, and it's back with Colombia now. John Gonzalez inside the centre circle. Little scooped pass to the right-hand side, asking Juan David Perez to gamble and run after it. He's still there, Juan David Perez. And he does really well, actually, the number 10. Good strength. Muscles one Brazilian down. And then tries a shot on the edge of the area. And he was just losing his balance. And I think might have got a bit of a collision there. He's down clutching his face as Brazil counter-attack. And there's that familiar shrill blast of the whistle. It's another free kick that Colombia have conceded in their desperate attempts to try and get the ball back.
Yeah. Silly foul again, wasn't he? He was going away. He was heading down towards the corner flag, really. And
yellow card as well.
Yeah, Stu Winton's given a yellow card. I think Stuart's had enough of these little ticky-tacky fouls. And so they're on 2 fouls, and we've only played, 2.25 minutes, something like that.
Freddie Lopez it was who was given the yellow card by referee Stuart Winton. So free kick to Brazil. It's still in the middle third, but only just. It's 5 or 6 metres in from the near sideboard. Here's Jefferson, the number 7. A little scoop across goal. It was probably hitting the left-hand post before the intervention of Ardila. A little roll out to John Hernandez, the captain for Colombia. Central position. He sprays the ball downfield.
That's one for us.
Asking a lot of Juan David Perez.
Yeah, all he's found there is our little tent.
Retrieved by Alex, one of the hard-working volunteers here at the games. Colombia have won a corner. Under no significant pressure, Nonato just decided to roll the ball out of play. So Colombia an opportunity to, either start the comeback or just get a consolation.
Yes, I think they get a comeback in this game. I think it's the best comeback of all time. I can't say it myself. Brazil look in total control of the game. Brazilian keepers have very little to do.
There is a hint of impressionist painting about Colombia's shirts. It's sort of as if someone's taken a paintbrush and flicked it.
I likened it earlier in the week to something like Banksy would have done.
Yeah. If he was having a difficult week. Here's John Hernandez in the middle third.
It's very colourful though, isn't it? It's great,
is.
But yeah, I don't think you want to be walking down the street with that on.
Brazil roll it back to their goalkeeper. Oh, and now a nice bit of play by Mateus Costa. Dummied the pass away, selling the dummy for Juan David Perez. And Brazil can launch an attack down their left-hand side. But there's John Hernandez for Colombia, running and dribbling down the right before he's engaged and held up by Maicon Santos. And now it's Brazil who march forward in the form of Nonato. Oh, and there was a challenge coming in, and I think, is that a free kick or just a...
No, I think he was just pointing down to a goal clearance. So I'm just a bit concerned about the well-being of the Colombian. The Brazil number 8 who had the shot has fallen, and I think he fell on the number 2. And
yeah, Freddie Lopez, who went to make sure that the shot wasn't an easy one, wasn't a clear one for Nonato. And he's fine to carry on. Here's Freddie Lopez, the number 2 for Colombia.
Yeah, there's a goal clearance.
In the end, it was a bit of an air shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was the pressure that he was under.
John Hernandez, left-footed ball down the left wing, is all the way through and along the board and out for a restart. Bowled out by Costa. And the Brazil goal away to our right-hand side. Freddie Lopez for Colombia picks up possession. Manages to find Juan David Perez, who very nearly got and squirmed past Casio Lopez to get into the area, but Lopez now thumps a clearance against the far side board. Taken up by Jefferson. And that's good defending from Colombia. John Hernandez got his body in the way and shepherded it back to his goalkeeper, Johan Ardila. Brazil have been excellent. Nonato taken down by Freddie Lopez. Now Juan David Perez still in the middle third, central position. Challenged. John Gonzalez now down the left wing for Colombia. Cuts in field. Chance of a shot into the goal.
Wow.
John Gonzalez gets one back for Colombia. Is the big comeback on? You never know. Brazil 3, Colombia 1. Nice finish. High into the left-hand corner of Mateus Costa's goal.
Yeah, superb goal by Colombia. Well, perhaps it's not all over. Spoke a little bit too soon, but he's out on the left-hand board. Comes across. He's coming across in front of the goal. Gets to the middle. And he just buries it in the top corner. The keeper's got no chance. The keeper's gone low. And the ball's gone high. Right. Brazil making a couple of subs.
Yes, indeed. On comes Jardiel Suarez, who got them up and running in this game. Nonato and Maicon Santos head off. Thiago Silva comes back on as well. So Brazil shuffle the pack after conceding that goal. They lead by 3-1 though. There's 9 minutes and 42 seconds left. Sun is back out here in Birmingham. Grey clouds overhead, but the sun peeking through. And there's plenty in the stand on the far side of your picture, sitting in the blue seats. There's representatives from a number of different nations, sat in their coloured tracksuits at the moment. And a few fans as well who've bought their tickets to enjoy the last day of these competitions. Here's Thiago Silva for Brazil. Offers the ball down the near sideboard, but it's going to be picked off by Juan David Perez. Switches the play. It's on halfway, and there's John Gonzalez, who scored that fine goal for Colombia. He's on halfway still. He tries to switch it to Juan David Perez. He's crowded out, and Brazil, well, sort of clear it, but in the end actually only give it back to Colombia. And the ball's going from the far side to the near board, and it's resulted in a Colombia corner won by Juan David Perez.
Yeah, the two lads for Colombia are starting to link up a little bit in this second half. They were not in existence at all in the first half, but they are starting to link up together now, and it's made a big difference to the Colombians' attack. Just having a swap around on the corner.
Yeah, Juan David Perez told to find a different position, so Freddie Lopez is there. Scooped in by Juan Hernandez. John Hernandez, but it's away by Brazil. It won't be kept in. It's going to go out for a Colombian restart. Johan Ardila, who's had a slightly quieter second half after being peppered somewhat in the first. Colombia, can they get another one back? John Gonzalez tries to fend off the attentions of Thiago Silva, and then bites back at him and concedes a free kick on halfway.
Yeah,
gets a yellow card for his troubles, John Gonzalez.
Tackling from behind, you know, he's a yard behind the Brazilian. There's just no way he can get to the ball, and there's another foul racked up against the Colombians. And another card.
Yeah. Yellow card shown to Freddy Lopez and John Gonzalez for Colombia. And their third foul committed this half already. Remember, they committed 5 in the first. They conceded an 8-metre penalty, which Casio Lopez converted. Free kick to Brazil, inside the centre circle. A shade inside their own half. Central position. Here comes number 7, Jefferson. Weaves down the right-hand side. Blocked off by John Gonzalez, who now completes the clearance from the edge of his own penalty area. Juan David Perez tries to latch onto the loose ball down the right wing, but he's beaten to it. And now Brazil can march forward through Casio Lopez. The ball's loose, 8 metres out, and Colombia can't quite get a foot on that and concede a corner. Just over 8 minutes left. 3-1 to Brazil. Changes afoot in the Colombian, in fact the Brazilian camp. No, it is the Colombian camp. It confused me because Jefferson was walking over there to take the corner.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to go off for the Colombians, didn't it? Yeah, Brazil are warming up a couple, but they're not quite ready to come on yet. Brazilian coach is just...
Nicolas Coca's just come on, number 8 for Colombia.
Yeah.
And he comes. First time we've seen him today. He's come on for John Gonzalez, I assume, just so Gonzalez can just maybe simmer down a little bit.
Yeah, he was definitely getting a bit overexcited, wasn't he?
Jefferson then with this corner runs into the
lovely.
area and scores to make it 4-1. Jefferson for Brazil. 4-1. The 3-goal cushion restored. Did it all himself from the corner. Cut infield. Colombia switched off. And low into the inner netting. To the left-hand side of Ardila.
It's lovely.
A fine finish.
He's cut in right from the byline. He's gone in. He's still carrying it in, and he just drilled it into the corner. This lad's been out injured for 2 years. This is his first tournament back after 2 years. And he's looked like he's a little bit lacking, but if he can... Yeah, that's a great goal. So I think we can safely say he's back. He's some player. He is a superstar in South America blind football. And after a long layoff, you'll love that goal. Absolutely love it.
Colombia make a change. Jesus Lopez comes on for John Hernandez, the captain. Colombia trailing by 4-1. Brazil have been outstanding.
Yeah, I think the writing's on the wall for Colombia now. They're 4-1 down, 3 fouls down as well. Yeah, I think that's it for Colombia. I can't see them coming back again.
And Brazil have already won the ball back from the restart. Jadiel Suarez tries to find Jefferson with a crossfield ball. The ball is going to roll kindly for Brazil all the way back to their goalkeeper, Mateus Costa. He overarm throws it out. Jadiel Suarez, the number 11, uses the near sideboard with both hands, allows him to spin in field. Now he goes back to the left wing under a bit of pressure. Challenged by Nicolas Coca. The luminous green boots. And Coca's eye mask has fallen to the ground. And we're going to have a brief stoppage here. With 7 minutes 20 left on the watch. Remember, Colombia and Brazil have already qualified for the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. Only 4 places up for grabs. 3 were claimed at this competition. Brazil, Colombia,
Argentina
have grabbed their spots. China were already qualified. And join Turkey, Morocco, and host nation France there, and potentially Japan, as we found out earlier, beating Iran in that game. And still a South American competition to come, which we explained earlier, but it certainly looks like Japan have 1 foot in Paris.
They certainly celebrated like they did, didn't they? Well, some people would say it was a bit presumptuous, but yeah, as I say, the way it's all racked up, I'm pretty sure that they'll qualify.
Final to come then of the men's blind football. Argentina against China. Join us for that. It kicks off in an hour's time.
China just arriving to the training pitch. They're going across there. They'll start their warm-up on that pitch, then come across to this one.
Seven minutes left. 4-1 to Brazil. Colombia, though, can they sneak another one through Jaramillo?
Corner.
Wins a corner for his side. Double checking. I think this is joint highest scoring. Oh no, there was a 4-2 game, France against Spain, earlier on in the competition. So 6 goals shared in that one, but it's one of them highest scoring games in this competition. 4-1. It's Brazil lead at the moment. Still time to.
Well, we didn't think this at the start, did we, Robert? Robin, sorry. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be. I thought it would be a lot closer than this.
Nicolas Coca with the scooped ball from the corner across, and it hits the near sideboard. Julian Jaramillo tries to latch onto it, but Brazil are there. Forward they come. Jaramillo, though, if he can pick up the loose ball, which he does. Jaramillo blocked off as he tried to maraud down the right-hand side. It's going to be back with goalkeeper Mateus Costa as the ball squirms loose, who finds Jefferson. Jefferson, one pretty special goal. This time he's trying to assist Jadiel Suarez with a scoop diagonal ball, which hits the board and runs out of play. Colombia restart. Here's Coca down the right-hand side. He's challenged. Clean challenge. And a good run from Casio Lopez. Oh, and that was an important intervention from Freddy Lopez. But Casio Lopez, the big number 5 for Brazil, he's still trying to win it back in the centre of the pitch. But Nicolas Coca does well. Coca forcing Brazil back inside their own penalty area. Thiago Silva almost sat down when he completed that clearance. He does find Jefferson, though, on the right wing. He's got 3 Colombian shirts ahead of him. So he's got a lot of work to do here, has Jefferson. He takes it from the centre into the left-hand side of the area. And he's body checked there by Jaramillo. Play goes on. It's back in the middle third with Colombia. But it's squandered. Jadiel Suarez latches onto it, and then he's pulled down by Freddy Lopez. He's already been booked.
Oh. Yeah, he's got 2 hands around his waist, and he's just pulled him down on top of him. So that's the 4th foul. So that's it for the amount of fouls now. Every other foul now is going to be an 8-metre penalty. And as you say, he's been booked as well. So
he's still down at the moment, Freddy Lopez. He's got his right shoe off.
He might be down, staying down there so he doesn't get another card. Yeah, physio's coming on, so he'll have to go off. And this could be all part of his plan not to get the second yellow. But I'm sure if Stuart Winton is thinking about a yellow, he'll give him a yellow if he's staying on or going off. Yeah,
Freddy Lopez hobbles off with the aid of his physio.
He's a lucky boy not to get a card for that, really.
On in his place comes Alex Martinez, who started the game. 4-1 to Brazil. They've got a free kick just under 9 metres out, pretty central. Goals from Jadiel Suarez, Casio Lopez, Thiago Silva, and then Jefferson. 3 in the first, 1 in the second for Brazil. John Gonzalez pulled one back to make it 3-1, but it was Jefferson who scored after a corner to make it 4-1, and it could well get worse for Colombia here. All 4 outfield players back in this wall. Thiago Silva's there, as is Jadiel Suarez.
Referee just indicating to the goalkeeper that they're on 4 fouls, and to their coaches on the halfway line that they've committed 4 fouls, no more.
A hush descends on the University of Birmingham sports campus. It's the Brazilian guide Edson Lacerda does his work in his green polo shirt behind the goal away to the left-hand side of your picture. Jadiel Suarez shoots and deflection and in.
Yeah.
It's 5 for Brazil.
Yeah, there's a little bit of fortune there, I suppose, but fortune favours the brave, and he's got a decent shot off, and it's unfortunately the last person in the Colombian wall. It's ricocheted off him into the corner of the net. The keeper's got no chance at all. No chance.
5-1 to Brazil. Jadiel Suarez with a brace. Brazil heading to the bronze medal position, 3rd on the podium. They have been dominant, and Jadiel's just making his way off along with Thiago Silva. So a couple of changes here. Jonathan Silva coming on, along with number 3, Samir Santana for Brazil, able to give players a run out.
Yes, very much now. I think the Colombians have done the same. There's players coming on there that we haven't seen. We're going to have a look at this free kick again.
It was a stray leg, wasn't it, from Nicholas Coker on the end of the wall, the left-hand side of the wall, just flung out a left limb, and it took a deflection off his knee and went into the goal.
Yeah, because the last person in the wall charged it down, and the second last person in the wall, as you said, put his knee out to try and put a block on it, and all it's done is diverted the ball into his own net, unfortunately. Don't know who's going to claim that, but really ought to go to the striker, really, I think.
Oh, yeah, it was still going in. Keeper probably would have saved it had it not been for Coker's left leg. But, these things happen. Coker's now over the ball. It's on the centre spot. 5-1 to Brazil.
This is the biggest margin of victory you've seen.
It is. The ball's all the way through to Brazilian goalkeeper Costa. Mateus Costa finds Jefferson on halfway. Jefferson. This could get worse for Colombia. Jefferson's in.
Oh, and it has.
It's 6. It's 6. Jefferson, 2 years out with injury. He's making up for lost time. Brazil are all over Colombia, who have completely lost their discipline. Brazil 6, Colombia 1. Jefferson with 2. Brazil will finish 3rd in this competition, and they'll do it in some style.
Yeah, he's picked the ball up on the halfway line, right out on the far board. He's coming in, keeps coming in, and he's just toe poked it, right foot, into the corner, and there the keeper's got no hope. Yes, what a performance from Brazil. I don't know where they've been all tournament, but they're certainly turning on the style now.
Biggest margin of victory in this tournament, and by a bit of a distance now as well. Jefferson has possession again inside the centre circle. He's challenged this time. But Colombia just being ruthlessly exposed here by this wonderful Brazilian side. Colombia, good team, and they're going to be at the Paris Games, but they'll hope not to run into Brazil in this sort of form. This has come out of nowhere. We mentioned earlier that Brazil have been underwhelming in this tournament. Yes, they were unbeaten in their group, picking up 2 wins and a draw. Yes, they beat France in the quarter-final, but it was all by 1-goal margins. It was all 1-0s. It was a little bit scratchy. No fluency. Couldn't get past the China defence. Lost on penalties. Didn't score a penalty, in fact. And then all of a sudden, with you'd have to say perhaps the pressure off a bit, they've won 6-1.
And against a good team.
Yep.
Yeah, we've all said how much we've enjoyed watching Colombia play. And, yeah, I don't know where it's come from. I don't think it's where it's come from. It's what was missing before. I think that's the problem.
Jaramillo with the shot for Colombia. It's a good 12 metres out. Doesn't trouble Mateus Costa, who drops it at the feet of Casio Lopez and build this attack from deep.
You know, even though the coach will be absolutely delighted with this result, he'll be thinking tonight, well, why couldn't we do this in the semi-final?
Is there time for 7 from Brazil's number 7? Jefferson is touched around the post by Johan Ardila.
Oh, he's turning on the style now, Jefferson, isn't he? Really is. That's a great effort down to the keeper's right, and big strong hand there, pushed it round.
So a corner to Brazil. There's 3.5 minutes left of this game. World Games final coming your way in 45 minutes time. Argentina against China, live here from Birmingham. But there's still work for Colombia to do here, defending this corner, which they do so eventually. Back with Casio Lopez on the edge of his own D for Brazil. Rolls it down the far sideboard. It might well reach Jefferson, this. Doesn't quite. Colombia can knock it to this near board.
Yeah, corner.
They'll win a corner as well after Casio Lopez was retreating and backpedaling, but couldn't keep it in.
Still just under 3 minutes to go. Could get worse for Colombia here. You know, 2 players on a card, 4 fouls against them, and they're getting tonked 6-1.
Yeah, not a great day, let's face it. The corner's scooped in, straight into the hands of Mateus Costa. A throw-in style throw-out. And it's picked out its target, Jonathan Silva. Silva tried to wrap his foot around that, 15 metres out, and he was challenged. Forward comes Julian Jaramillo for Colombia.
It's
taken off him by Samir Santana. Restart to Brazil. Jefferson on halfway, looking for a hat-trick. Jefferson, he's in. Jefferson! Hat-trick! 7 for Brazil. Magnificent. Oh. And it is their magnificent number 7 who caps it all off. Jefferson. Brazil have been irrepressible today.
Oh, that's unbelievable. Again, where has he picked it up? A halfway line in the middle of the pitch. He's going left and right. Comes back on his right foot. And just drills it across the keeper into the far corner. What a fabulous goal. Well, who would have thought this? 7-1. Still 2 minutes to go. Could get worse.
It was inevitable, wasn't it? When he got past the last Colombian defender, as soon as he was approaching the box, there was only one thing happening.
Yeah, he just knew where it was going to go. He's like, I've been watching him all the way through the tournament, and he's only been a sub. He's been coming on for a couple of minutes here and a couple of minutes there. Hasn't really looked like it at all. But I suppose they're just feeding him back in, really. It's his first tournament after a long layoff. But I would say he's back.
Just a bit. Hat-trick. 7-1 to Brazil. Forward they come again, Brazil, down the right-hand side. Jonathan Silva. Silva shoots across goal. Flashes wide. Still time for this to get worse for Colombia. I mean, it's been a horrendous afternoon for them.
Yeah. Yeah, they've come across a Brazil side in full flow, and I've got to admit, I feel a little bit sorry for them. They must be absolutely shell-shocked.
Nicholas Coker trying to restore a bit of pride here. Down the right-hand side, his cross is charged down. But Coca gets towards the edge of the penalty area before he's then tackled again. And I think he'll win a corner and does so.
Right.
One minute, 22 seconds left. Don't forget the final of these World Games still to come. Argentina, China. 7-1 here to Brazil. An opportunity for a shot from a tight angle. Alex Martinez finds the side netting. Mateus Costa starts this next attack. And it's with that man again, Jefferson, on halfway down the right. This is what he loves to do. Draws the defenders in, and this time he passes it to the near side. Jonathan Silva gets one touch, and it's a heavy one. Out it goes for a restart to Colombia.
He just makes it look so easy, Jefferson, doesn't he? He just went past the player there like he just wasn't even there. He was just... Oh. He is quality.
And he's just challenged for the ball, and he's one-on-one here with the last defender. And if he can sneak it away, he'll be in on goal. Jesus Lopez sticking to his task and doing well in the end. Ball's back in the middle third. Still with Brazil, mind. Jonathan Silva. He loses it. Alex Martinez now bearing down on the penalty area. Martinez can't quite bring the ball under control, but now he gets it and shoots from a tight angle. Hits Mateus Costa at his near post. Corner.
We got 20 seconds to go.
Corner to Colombia, trailing by 7-1 in the third, fourth place playoff. They're going to finish fourth in this competition. They've qualified for the Paris Games, so in that sense it's been job done. But what a sour way for their tournament to end. Brazil are going to pick up the bronze medal. They're going to have a last-minute shot as well, with a stubbed effort from Jonathan Silva, saved by Johan Ardila. But he's been beaten 7 times today. Twice by Jadiel Suarez, once by Cassio Lopez, once by Thiago Silva, and then a hat-trick from Jefferson to complete the scoring. An emphatic victory for Brazil to round off their campaign. They finished third, Colombia fourth. Join us for the final soon. Full-time score here at the University of Birmingham. Colombia 1, Brazil 7. We'll see you soon.